what I noticed straight away was your average profitable trade versus your average negative trade. That is a humongous difference. We're talking 300% higher. So what are you doing to average out such a ratio? It's an absolute pleasure to bring back Brian, who is once again one of the CTI's portfolio manager. Now, his story is going to be very interesting because he's actually done an interview with us previously. You can check it out right here. And we went through his evaluation, we went through his strategy. Unfortunately, he was disqualified from that. But now he's coming back because he redone another evaluation and once again has passed it. This happens to a lot of traders. Pass an evaluation or you pass a challenge and then you get disqualified. And this is really, really frustrating sometimes. And so you want to hear and watch this video until the end because Brian's going to tell you exactly how he managed to recover, how he managed to optimize his strategy in order to once again pass the CTI evaluation. So make sure that you're smashing that like button, subscribe to this channel, leave an amazing comment for Brian over in the comment section. Brian, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Rodrigo.
This interview will be slightly different to the previous one because the previous one we learned about your background in trading, how you got into it. But this time around, you actually managed to pass the evaluation before. You started off as a portfolio manager, but then unfortunately you got disqualified. So let's start from there. What happened from when you started the PM account? How did you manage to get disqualified in the end? What happened there?
Sure. So basically, I was trading the British pound versus US, and I was completely in tune with the Elliott wave pattern. And what I've learned that Elliott wave is a great system or theory to describe what's happening, but it's not a trading system. It's just to describe potentially what wave you're in so you can get an idea to expect. I was trying to use Elliott wave as a strategy and then it blew up on me. It wasn't confirming with any moving average or any, that's the difference. So now I got all three in place and I'm just trying to get back in tune with a couple different pairs and ready to just follow a few pairs.
Right. Okay. So you changed that aspect of your forecasting, but what did you change in your trading? Was there anything that you changed in the strategy in how you entered?
So no trading corrections. Not for me. It is what it is, right? No trading corrections. I don't use hourly candles anymore. It's too stressful. I can't trade that tight. I got to be honest with myself. So I'm looking at weekly trend lines, daily trend lines, and maybe moving averages or a pattern on the weekly or daily. And now I'll enter on the 4 hour or hourly, but I don't trade the hourly. That's just to enter. And I'm still going to use typically a 2 times ATR on the daily. So Aussie yen right now, I'm going to use about a 200 pip stop. And a lot of people might hear that and go, that's too big of a stop. And again, bring risk management. I'm only risking about 0.5% to 1% on that total trade. That's it. It's a limit. Let's say it's a limit order at a Fibonacci correlated type of price. And I'm only risking 1%. And then when it goes,
what kind of risk reward are you looking for?
Honestly, about a 2.5. Because if I do 2.5 R on basically 5% total, I only need 5 trades to level up account to the next portfolio manager.
Yeah. So let's have a look at your stats. And what I noticed straight away was your average profitable trade versus your average negative trade. That is a humongous difference. We're talking 300% higher. So what are you doing to average out such a ratio? How are you managing your break-even strategy? Because you managed to keep the drawdown under 3.42. Your recovery factor is fantastic at 2.62. So you managing your drawdown extremely well. What are you doing? What is your risk management and trade management strategy?
Basically, what I would do is I would look at a 4-hour chart or daily chart and say, hey, pound US is a good short. And we have to accept once you place that trade, it's going to float against you. It is what it is. I don't know how else not to do it, right? Well, after you take so many floating losses, you bury yourself and you can't recover. So what I did for this evaluation, I placed one trade, 200 pips, maybe 250 pips, about 0.5% or 1% on the risk, and that's it. And then I added on when I knew I was right. And you're right when you're not floating a loss for the most part, right? So then it actually goes in your favor. Then you're like, okay, stop the break even, add on one more position, and then wait for that to go in your favor. That stopped the break even. So at any given time, I probably had 10 or 12K out on a 2,500 eval. So margin wise, I was using almost 50% margin. And if it would have ripped against me, I would have broke even for the most part. One trade at risk, because everything else is at break even. I got one position. I feel pretty good. It goes in my favor. I'm going to put it at break even. Give it about a week though to put it at break even. And then if you feel on point, go ahead and start adding on just one or two at a time. And then again, you don't add on until you're back to break even.
Brian, that is fantastic. The tweaks that you've made have given you some very impressive stats. You have a profit factor of 3.38 and you have a 50% win rate. We can see here that you entered 49 trades. So if we look at your balance here, you're pretty much floating around break even. You went slightly underwater here around the 50th trade or so. Can you tell us, how did you manage your psychology during this period? And how did you manage to get yourself out of being in negative drawdown here?
Just don't fight the Fed. This whole summer, the entire market tried to anticipate a Fed pivot. Then Powell came out on Jackson Hole and basically said, guys, what are you doing? Stop it. I'm going to crush this market because of inflation. And people, even now as we record this video, they're still looking to buy pound. What do you, and that went from what, $1.08 to $1.05 in literally a day or two. And all of these retail traders got destroyed because I'm watching the sentiment indicators on a couple different websites. And that's how a wave 3 is created, by the way, in Elliott wave. A wave 3 is when the retail is getting annihilated. Like, come on, man. Let's not fight the Fed.
Brian, it sounds like you've gained so much experience. You've grown so much. You've developed and you've improved your process. You've managed to find the weak points in the strategy, the weak points in your risk management, and you've made those adjustments. So how has that impacted your trading psychology?
The biggest thing is I'm so thankful for this opportunity, CTI, because I did get some withdrawals and that was exciting. Got a couple, about $700-800 withdrawal, and that's awesome, and I actually bought the BLT course with it, right? And it was awesome. But the biggest thing is this is a business. It's not a lottery ticket. If you have any type of lottery ticket, wealthy, Lamborghini mindset, you are going to fail. You're going to fail because maybe the Lamborghini in 10 years, but it's not going to happen next year for me. So that's powerful. You're submitting to the process. Yeah.
You're not chasing that Lamborghini dream. You're just focusing, right, today when I open up my machine, I have a job to do.
Right, that's my job.
The rules. So Brian, it's been an absolute honor once again. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, sharing your growth. I'm sure that the audience that is watching believes in you. So now you got to continue to believe in yourself, apply this edge on a consistent basis. So good luck. Go ahead and smash it.
All right. Thanks, man.
What an absolute honor it was to once again interview Brian Summy, who has once again passed the CTI evaluation. And now he has learned so much. He has grown and developed. He has now a much stronger edge in order to scale as a portfolio manager. So I hope this has given you guys inspiration not to give up, to continue to learn from your mistakes and not make things worse. There are lessons to be learned and there are ways to improve. You just have to find out how. So if you are interested in getting funded, make sure that you check out the link in the description below and you'll be able to see the options that we have. We have the classic, standard, and day trading programs. Guys, thank you so much again for watching this video. Smash that like button before you go and go ahead and share this video with another trader. I'll see you on the next interview. Take care.